Good evening, this is Kano Kelly with another weekly wrap-up, so let's get right into it. From the Immigration Office, dated the 6th of February 2018, the Bureau of Immigration has advised foreigners visiting the country not to be rude or disrespectful towards immigration officers, or they will be turned away at the ports for being undesirable aliens. The entry and stay of foreigners in this country is not a right, but a mere privilege. Thus, they ought to show respect for the courtesy to immigration officers upon their arrival in our ports of entry. The BI chief issued a statement after BI Port Operations Division's Chief Marianis reported that a total of 74 aliens were barred from entering the country in 2017 for being disrespectful to immigration officers. This is done to teach those arrogant and discourteous foreigners that lessons of ours is a sovereign country whose authority they should respect. From Marianis. It was learned that aside from the 74 aliens who were turned back, there were several foreigners who were blacklisted after they left the country, also because they were rude to immigration authorities in the subboard offices. An alien blacklisted blacklisted for being rude may, however, request his removal from the blacklist to the BI commissioner by apologizing for his misconduct. So people, if you're coming to the Philippines, you better behave when you land, because I have seen firsthand when you are rude to these immigration officers, they will not let you in the country. They will put you right back around, put you back on the plane from wherever you came from. Okay, update from last week's vehicle impoundment for driving the wrong way. Today, February 7th, 2018, Cebu City councilors clarified that they are not against counterflow measures of the Cebu City Mayor Thomas Osmeña. The councilors, however, oppose a penalty that requires counterflowing motor vehicles to be impounded for 30 days. Osmeña's Executive Order number 34 covers all forms of reckless driving, specifically driving left, or commonly known as driving counterflowing. The councilors argued that the vehicle impoundment is not among the sanctions provided for vehicles caught to counterflow under the Traffic Code of the Philippines. If Osmeña thinks that counterflowing is illegal, then you cannot have a solution that is also illegal, Alcover said. As of right now, it is still illegal. They are impounding vehicles for driving in the wrong lane or oncoming traffic. When you cross the yellow line to pass vehicles that are stopped in traffic and you are caught, you will get a fine and you will lose your vehicle for 30 days. So be aware when you come to the Philippines. They are not joking on this issue. Okay, here in Cebu City on February 5th, a drug peddler was shot dead and police were wounded. Cebu City, a suspected drug pusher, was gunned down on Sunday night in what police said was a legitimate operation in Barangay South Poblacion, San Fernando town, about 41 kilometers south of Cebu City. Benjamin Acero died of multiple gunshot wounds in the body after he was shot by police officer Aristo Tampas following a drug bust past 10 p.m. Tampas also sustained a gunshot wound on the body and was being treated for the South General Hospital. Tampas was earlier transacting with Acero from Akiro for the delivery of a satchel of shabu in exchange for 500 pesos, or just a little over $100. When the transaction was completed, Tampas tried to arrest Akiro, but the suspect allegedly grabbed the Glock 9mm service firearm of Tampas and shot the policeman. Although he was wounded, Tampas managed to go after the suspect and shot the latter several times, killing him. Acero was brought to the Karkar Provincial Hospital, where he was declared dead on arrival by the attending physician. So we had a little excitement here. Okay, the DFA to open main consular office on Saturday. So the Department of Foreign Affairs, DFA, said it would open its main consular office in, if I can pronounce this correctly, Paranque City, every Saturday starting February 10th to process more passports applications. So like me and Ann, she needs to get her passport processed because her name change. We'll have to find a place to do it. Here's the place to go. Information on that In our effort to meet the huge demand of passports, the Office of Consular Affairs in Asina shall be open to passport applications every Saturday starting February 10 from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., the DFA announced. Walk-in applicants, including those entitled to the courtesy lane window, would not be entertained on Saturdays, the DFA said. Other consular services, such as authentication of documents, would also not be available on Saturdays. The move came amid complaints that it took several months to secure online appointments to apply for new or renew passports. The DFA satellite offices at shopping malls have already been operating from Monday to Saturday. The DFA said it would continue to deploy its passport processing vans weekly and would soon open 8 more consular offices to handle more passport applications. The DFA issued at least 10,000 up to 12,000 passports each day through its 21 regional consular offices around the country and 6 satellite consular offices in Metro Manila. The passport fee is 1,200 pesos for express processing of 10 working days and 950 pesos for normal processing of 20 working days. Those who need to apply for new or renew their passports have to get an appointment via the website passport.gov.ph. The appointments are free, and the DFA had warned against dealing with fixers. So there you go. If you need to get your wife or girlfriend a passport, you need to check them out. Okay, here we go. Foreigners flee as Philippine stock valuations overheat. February 5th, 2018. International investors are withdrawing from the Philippines equities at the fastest pace in 10 months, cashing out $132 million last week when valuations surpassed levels that preceded corrections in 2015 and 2016. The exodus, which halted a 6-week buying spree, snapped the Philippine Stock Exchange Index's longest streak of weekly gains in 3 years and erased about 352 billion pesos or 6.8 billion USD in the market value in 3 days. So there's a lot going on here in the Philippines with the stock markets, and foreigners are fleeing the Philippines. Okay, we have some good news here from Manila, February 2018. As a part of the continuing response to the Marawi crisis, the U.S. Embassy in the Philippines has launched a 18.5 million peso hashtag for Mindanao campaign supporting 37 projects throughout Mindanao led by the Philippine alumni of U.S. government-sponsored exchanges, many of whom have already played a crucial role in responding to the humanitarian needs in Marawi and surrounding areas. These projects will address educational enrichment, economic development, and psychosocial effects of conflict, among the other processing needs of the region. The year-long hashtag for Mindanao campaign will impact an estimated 13,500 people, focusing especially on out-of-school youth, university students, madrasa students, and women in Mindanao. These alumni-led projects are just one part of the U.S. government's response to the Marawi crisis. To date, the U.S. government has announced over 1 billion pesos for recovery and rehabilitation of Marawi and surrounding areas through the U.S. Agency for International Development, or USAID. The U.S. government also funds extensive counterterrorism, law enforcement, development, health, and countering violent extremism programs across Mindanao. So that's some good news for Mindanao and the war that ended in Marawi. Okay, folks, that concludes this week's Kano Kelly's weekly news wrap-up here in the Philippines. So don't forget to tune in next Friday night for another edition. So until next week, I'm Kano Kelly. See you then.
Intervened